Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Hello everyone, welcome to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what we do on this channel, hit on the subscribe button, also put on the notification bell so you'll be notified by YouTube anytime we drop a new video. And if you are returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch our videos. On this platform, we drop videos every day and we react to every video that come our way. And on this very video, I will be watching with you. And after watching, let's go to the comment section and drop our opinion constructively. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible. See you next time in my next video.
A group of militants working for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Dokubo, while addressing the militants on parade in a video that has now gone viral. One that anybody that misbehaves or seeks Tinubu's downfall will be smashed.
We work for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and he will succeed. Anybody who is planning for him to fail, the person had already. If you do anyhow, you do anyhow. You do anyhow, you do anyhow. You do anyhow, you do anyhow. You will collect woto. Turn by turn.
All right. What has Nigeria become?
Turn
Dr.
by
Abati.
turn. Nigeria turn by turn. Oh, I beg you, wait for your turn.
Wait for your turn, Dr. Abati. This is.
You see how interesting Nigeria is? A situation whereby the president of Nigeria has the support of militants. Okay, and you ask yourself the question: how would one individual be able to put together a group of about 300?
Yes.
And I can mobilize. Well, I don't see them doing anything violent, but they are expressing loyalty, solidarity for President Tinubu. One of those curious things about our society, about the role of non-state actors within the polity. Well, you may say maybe this is during the political season, and these are supporters of President Tinubu. But you see,
no, it wasn't during the political season. This is a recent video.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
No, this was a video that was released after he came out of the Hajj.
The president
came back from the Hajj. So it wasn't political season. And these are non-state actors. And I don't know how
they
this
couldn't do anything evil. He put a gun in this one's hand. What about the guns he was brandishing before? Let's call it spade a spade. If we want the truth in this country.
No, the president of Nigeria being supported and defended by militants, it's curious.
It's very curious, Dr. Abati.
The optics is not very good.
No.
Because the president of Nigeria has the whole army. He's after all commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So that's what makes it curious. Yeah. And a lot of people will be worried that why will anybody have almost a personal army of over 300 militants?
But those are the questions, Dr. Abati. They are very valid questions. Rufai, I wish we had time.
I mean, what work in what capacity? Let's be very careful. Are we fast building another Haiti, other Papa Doc Duvalier with the Tonton Makut? Is that the question? You see, these Frankensteins we're building everywhere with non-state actors. I'll give you a little history lesson,
unfortunately,
because of time.
We don't have time.
America started with this, with the Soviet Union funding the Mujahideen through Charlie Wilson.
Right.
There's a movie out there for it called Charlie Wilson's War. You can see now how the same people America found a ton again. Let's be careful.
All right. Well, reports emerged that the Lagos state government had allegedly approved an estimated 61 million naira for a mass burial of 103 NSAS victims. In a quick rebuttal, the Lagos state government debunked the claims, stating that peddlers of the news are deliberately misinterpreting and sensationalizing the report. A letter which went viral on social media from the Lagos state government public procurement agency titled Letter of No Objection, Mass Burial for the 103, the year 2020 NSAS victim, claimed that the state government engaged the services of TOS Funeral Limited, a private firm, at the cost of 61,285,000 naira to bury 103 bodies, which were identified to be victims of the killings. The Lagos state government, however, said the 103 casualties mentioned in the letter were victims of the NSAS violence in community clashes prior to the incident at the Lekki toll gate on October 20, 2020, insisting that the casualties are not from the Lekki toll gate as being alleged, and that nobody was retrieved from the Lekki toll gate incident. Now, the Lagos state government has maintained their claim. They claim that nobody was retrieved from the incident. I mean, over the weekend, our videos were trending from, 2020, where the Lagos state governor gave the interview saying that, nobody died, also from CNN. But let me take more reactions. This is from Big Mo. Well, he wrote, "First things first, the letter is true, so that's out of the way. Secondly, let's even assume the deaths didn't happen at the toll gate for a second, but 103 human beings, not cattle, killed across the state while protesting for police brutality was not enough concern for the state or federal government for almost 3 years. Why did the state keep mute about the number of deaths? What exactly did the state, federal government do to prevent this massive death happening again? Life in Nigeria is truly worthless. I don't see how this much number of people will die during a protest and not even a memorial was done on their behalf. Since the government knew about this number of deaths over the years and kept mute about it, it's clear there has been a massive cover-up by the state of what truly happened during the NSAS protest. Now, I truly understand why the last state governorship election was a do or die affair for them. Well, really, Oduola wrote, families of NSAS victims killed by the police forces showed up, by the way, looking for the bodies of their loved ones, including Pelumi Onifade's mother. They were asked to drop DNA samples. They dropped. Lagos state government never did any DNA test for the samples collected. I can go on and on with the tweets, but Dr. Abati, I want to start with you. I spoke with the former spokesperson for the Lagos state government, Gbenga Omotosha, and he gave me some insight, and he did share with me a couple of articles and reports where they had announced or made some announcements, if you can pull up those articles, about these bodies that were in the morgue. And he also said that it is a common thing that happens in Lagos, that there's, the Lagos state always conducts mass burials. I mean, this is one of the reports, the public announcement that came out. But can you really, really blame Nigerians for feeling the way that they are feeling at this point? Dr. Abati.
Okay, a number of issues here. Incidentally, we just had a conversation with Dele Farotimi, who was one of the lawyers involved in making representations before the Justice Doris Okuwobi, panel that was set up to address the mass shootings in Lekki. And he too made a number of, observations. But first, let's deal with the statement he put out by the Lagos state government and signed by the PAMSEC of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ogbuye. He says, one, that this letter that is up there, that is causing all of this, is a letter from the Public Procurement Agency in Lagos State, giving, which is a letter of no objection, which is what you do in government when there is a contractual thing involved. So they've engaged the services of the funeral home. This is the amount involved. Then, of course, you have to approach the procurement agency at the federal level. They also have their own procurement agency. And then you get a letter of no objection, which means you can go ahead. This is a 5-paragraph letter. And it talks about payment of taxes and all of that. Now, people took this letter and said, well, this is clear evidence that people were killed at the Lekki toll gate. But the explanation of government is that, look, those persons, these victims that they want to do mass burial for, they did not all die at the Lekki toll gate. And that, in fact, nobody died at Lekki toll gate, quoting in this regard what the white paper, said. And they're saying people died in Ogba, people died in Ikeja, people died in Ikorodu, people were also killed during the Ikoyi jailbreak. So they have that long list. And that it is malicious, an attempt at sensationalism to say that, oh, this is evidence that people died at the Lekki toll gate. So and they try to debunk all of that. However, when we had a conversation with Dele Farotimi said, it is not correct to say that the report of the Okuwobi panel did not say that some people were killed at the Lekki toll gate. That it was in the white paper that there was that discrepancy. That was a point that he pointed out, that he indicated. And I've tried to check. Indeed, in the report of the panel, there were, indications that there were casualties at the Lekki toll gate. But, what the exact number is may be a matter of argument. But the state government is saying, well, only 3 people did not die there. Number 2, he also expressed concern, which I think is also something that can be taken on board, that you are spending 61.2 million to do mass burial for 103 persons. The people are dead already, so what is the cost? He calculated it. He said that's about 500,000 per person, and he thinks that there is corruption involved. Now, if that can be established, that figure should be investigated, okay? And then number 3, in any environment at all, whether it is even NSAS victims or they are victims of other killings in Okoba or Agege or in any part of Lagos, should 103 people just disappear within a space of about 1 week? But the government says, well, the thing to consider is that while the panel was sitting, the chief pathologist was invited to give evidence, and that the chief pathologist of the state could not link the bodies to Lekki toll gate. And that 2, the chief coroner also issued a statement and said anybody who had missing persons in their families between the 17th to the 27th of October 2020 should go to the state morgue, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital morgue, to go and identify bodies there. Maybe they will be able to find their persons, at the morgue. And that since then, up to now, nobody showed up. So more than 2 years after the fact, the state government is now making arrangements to do mass burial, to decongest the morgue. But on all sides, it is most unfortunate that anybody will just die like that.
And that's where I'm going.
103 persons. Only how many more have died and who have been taken to the state morgue, so that now they want to decongest the morgue. So people die every day needlessly, in this country for the wrong reasons, for, deaths that cannot even be explained. The kind of death that will not happen in any decent society.
Absolutely.
So that is the, touching part of it.
A lot of people have said, 103 people. This story means a lot to me. I broke down when I saw this happen. In the lead up to the actual day of the Lekki toll gate shooting, there was all of this mayhem going around Lagos, police stations being burned, people being killed. But 103 people, people are saying they're skeptical about that number of people.
And for good reason. In fact, OJ, what this report did was that it brought up more questions for me, and it's almost it's resurrecting the NSAS story. I don't believe that we have come to the end of this. I think this will just bring up even more questions. And I wish Nigeria were a country where journalists would be allowed to do their jobs in terms of investigations and allowed to have access to interviewing key personnel, access to documents so that we can truly verify what is the true state of what's happened. 103 people, human beings, and going back to that first tweet you read, we're not talking about animals here, we're talking about people who lived, people who had family members, who had a livelihood. If these kind of numbers had died in that period that the government said, there should have been a national day of mourning called by the government. the fact that there was quiet or silence about these numbers all these years, in 3 years, is a cause for concern. Why? Why didn't anyone say anything? Yes, they put out adverts, but it didn't give the true picture of what had happened. Other questions, again, would be, or something else I wanted to identify, is that in that letter that was written, where the NSAS victims, I think it's time that the state government, in being sensitive to the people, stop tagging what has been said by international and local community members as one of the most peaceful protests when it happened, to be victims of people who died as a result of NSAS. People died as a result of violence that erupted following the agitations of people after the events of the 20th of October 2020. Because we have reports of how it was very organized, particularly at the epicenter, ground zero, in the Lekki toll gate. Then moving forward in terms of that, is that the panel report versus the white paper.
Yes.
There have been inconsistencies, and that's why the questions that still emerge. Right from the very first day when the military said they were not even there at all. Then going on to saying that they did not fire live bullets. You know, so many inconsistencies. When would Nigerians get the truth about what happened on the 20th of October 2020? And I hope that the state government at least would honor the dead. As was said, why hasn't an epitaph been built? Why hasn't that place been consecrated? Why hasn't nothing been done? 103 lives just like that? Big questions to be asked.
Absolutely, Rufai.
Okay, so where do I start? I'm going to have 3 parts to my speech this morning. Number 1, are we a society that wants the truth or we want lies? Do we even understand the truth, or we've constantly fed on lies that have heralded our union as a country? I think it's a time for sober and deep reflection about the capacity of the truth and what it can do to our society. Or, if we don't want the truth, we continue to wallow in lies. But I'll tell you something. Uthman Danfodio said, conscience is an open wound and only the truth can heal it. For everybody out there, you've got your conscience open. It's a wound today. But it is the truth that can heal that wound you have. And I pray the souls of the departed will find healing.
Yes.
Secondly, we've become a state that does not care for lives. 103 people, that's the one we even saw. I would even say we even dignify them by putting their body in the morgue for some time. Do you know that the Nigerian state, a lot of people die and their bodies are just left to waste like that, and their carcasses? So we're not a country that appreciates lives, and that's why when a protest happens, all sorts of things happen and people are killed. It is a cultural problem we have with our psyche, and the state must learn to protect its people. I'll take you back to 1960s. A protest happened, famous protest in France called Sois en Huit. When that protest happened, the protesters, they were going to storm on the French presidential palace. Charles de Gaulle was a war general, a brave man. He didn't run away from the Nazis. He stood and he fought them. But when his own people were about to storm the Champs-Élysées, Charles de Gaulle ran away. He did not run away because he wasn't brave. He ran away because he knew if they had stormed the presidential palace and his guard had reacted, there would have been loss of lives. And Charles de Gaulle said, it is not on my watch the French life will be lost. That is a leader that understands the importance of the life of his citizens.
Absolutely.
Do we have leaders like that? No. My third phase, Audrey, is the rigmarole we've done. I look at that video you play. You remember we fined over 2 million for that video. At first, the military denied that it was a lie. Mr. Lai Mohammed will remember the word said. We remember when the MBC then, director, Mr. Indacheba came here. And I asked him just one question. I'll never forget that day. That what were the methods of verifying that video that it was wrong, but there was no answer. We're finally proven true. At first, the governor said, oh, I didn't call the military. And the military said, oh, the governor called us in. Now we had a lot of back and forth. Then the white paper, then the report was released, then it became political. We can say all and talk about the facts and details. But I ask again, do we want a country that will stand on the pedestal of the truth? And please, can we stand the truth?
Well said, Rufai.
What is the truth?
Ladies and gentlemen, good day, my brothers and sisters, my mommies and my daddies over there. Is your sister again, your doctor, your friend, your girl, Anointed Lady TV. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe for me. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will be notified. So in this my channel, I will be bringing up many things to you in which you will benefit from it. I do talk show, I do news, anything you want to talk about, I am into it. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video or each time I'm on live on YouTube, you will be notified. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Please do subscribe for me, and as you do so, God will richly bless you and meet your heart desire. Thank you very much. I love you all. Ladies and gentlemen, good day, my brothers and sisters, my mommies and my daddies over there. Is your sister again, your doctor, your friend, your girl, Anointed Lady TV. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe for me. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will be notified. So in this my channel, I will be bringing up many things to you in which you will benefit from it. I do talk show, I do news, anything you want to talk about, I am into it. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video or each time I'm on live on YouTube, you will be notified. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Please do subscribe for me, and as you do so, God will richly bless you and meet your heart desire. Thank you very much. I love you all.